filthy, vile, disgusting. So why does my litter robot look and smell like this? I promise, there's a reason. Let's find out why. Don't burn the house down. What? So I basically have a big story to tell about this product, but instead of you staring at my face and my cool little backdrop the entire time, why don't I just talk over while I'm cleaning the Litter Robot 4, because we both know that thing needs a good cleaning. Let's go. If you've seen the other videos on my channel, you'll know that my love of the Litter Robot 4 has been kind of hit and miss. I've had some highs and I've had some lows, to the point where I couldn't even recommend the product. In fact, I recommended the Leo's Loo 2 over the Litter Robot 4 in my previous review video several months back. But since then, some things have happened. First and foremost, somebody slid into my DMs. Yep, that is none other than Jacob Zupke, the CEO of Whisker. Whisker being, of course, the company that makes the Litter Robot 4. I got dinged on LinkedIn by Jacob after he saw my video, and he wanted to set up a time to talk, so we did. We did a video conference where he and I spoke for about 30 minutes. He went through a background of the company, their products, how things have been going so far, and then we got into the meat of the Litter Robot 4. Jacob, as any good leader would do, jumped on the grenade saying, look, we've identified issues with the product, we've identified issues with support, we didn't ramp up fast enough, we didn't get up to scale to help all of our customers, we made mistakes, but we're working to fix them. So look, I've been an executive leader in a Fortune 100 company before. I understand that sometimes you just have to talk the talk, but it's harder to walk the walk. So when Jacob said, look, we're gonna send you a new unit, I want you to use it and do whatever you can. No strings attached. I said, perfect, okay. So we did. And here I was thinking, you know what? I'm now gonna stop being a detractor of Whisker because they're sending me a new product. He assured me it was going to work. I was excited. And then this is what showed up. I kid you not, the thing is completely broken. I don't know if it got dropped or crushed or what, but somewhere along the way, this replacement unit, which is supposed to restore my faith in Whisker, it's broken. I can't use it. So, as I'm sure you can understand, I was pretty miffed. Already being a detractor of the company, I reached back out to Jacob and said, hey, here's what happened. I told him the story. He said, you know what? We're gonna white glove package one just for you. Make sure it gets there in one piece. Then you can have that one and let's try it. I said, okay. So the next one shows up and I, with high hopes, I unplugged the Leo's Loo 2. I put it in a closet. I took the Litter Robot 4 out. I set it up. Had all these great ideas. I updated the firmware, I updated the app. And I came home the very first night and I found this. And because of that, I found this. That's right. The drum got stuck upside down just as it had done several times before. The red light was on, it was not moving, the cats couldn't use it, and they pooped in the bathtub. The cats pooped in the bathtub. Okay, so now I'm done. I'm fed up. I had a whole video drummed up completely roasting Whisker. I was done. I didn't email anybody, I didn't call anybody, I didn't text anybody. I took a day and I made a scorched earth video raining all upon Whisker, having just spoken to their CEO, having just gone through this whole rigmarole, and twice they had opportunities to fix this. Both times failed. But calmed down a little bit and I said, okay, I'm just gonna be done. I'm done with the product, I'm done with the service. I boxed the unit up, I put it in my garage to collect dust and never to be seen again. I was done with it. So time goes on and my Litter Robot 4 and Leo's Loo 2 videos continue to rack up views, and there are passionate, and I mean passionate, comments on there from people on both sides of the aisle. Several people swear by the Litter Robot. The 3, the 4, they say nothing but good things about it. Mine's never had issues. You didn't do it right. You're not using the right kind of litter. It got too dirty. It got too messy. You have to clean the sensors. And on the other side, there were dozens of comments. Mine's doing the same thing. What a piece of crap. I paid so much money, this thing doesn't work. Very heated on both sides of the aisle, but I was done. I responded to comments. I said, okay, you know what? I'm out of this game. I'm done with it. but I never was truly done with it, and here we are again. So time goes by. The Litter Robot 4 is collecting dust. Leo's Loo 2 just chugging along, working, doing what it's supposed to do. And then we got married. My wife and I now decided, obviously a while ago, that we were gonna have a wedding in Colorado, Estes Park, a beautiful place, but we were gonna be gone for a week. Okay, well, the Leo's Loo 2, as great as it is, can't go a week without it getting full from 2 cats. So I dug out the Litter Robot 4, I updated the firmware, I updated the software, I plugged it in, and I crossed my fingers, and something extraordinary happened. It worked. It actually worked. So somewhere out along the way, as the Litter Robot 4 was collecting dust, the company released a firmware update that solved what was the one and only biggest issue that I had with the Litter Robot 4. And that is every time there would get dust on the sensor lens, which is what is supposed to detect your cat coming in and out, if your cat litter had any sort of dust build up on there, it would see that and it would stop the drum from spinning. This would leave it upside down or halfway, whatever, but the cats couldn't use it. They obviously implemented something within the firmware to where it overrides it now. So it will stop if it senses something in and out of there, but after a couple of seconds, it will start to move again. No matter what, it will start to move again and it will finish its cycle. So I said, okay, well, how good does this thing actually work? And I wanted to put it to the test. And this was the test that we did. I didn't touch it for a month, and yes, it gets pretty smelly after not being cleaned for a month. All I did was change the bag when it got full and added litter when it got low. I changed the litter once or twice just by pushing the cycle button to where it dumps it all out, and then I added new litter. But I didn't actually clean the drum, and I didn't once touch the sensors. I just left them going. I wanted to see, does this thing actually work as intended, even in the grossest conditions? And guess what? It does. It works. Okay, so look. Cat sensor gets tripped, red light comes on. This is where it would get stuck before. And it's moving. It cleared itself in about 15 seconds, I'd say. Good job, Whisker. Another couple of weird things happened as I had both of those cat boxes sitting next to each other for over a month. I ran them both ever since we got home from our trip in June. I just wanted to see which one the cats preferred, because look, features are cool for me, apps are cool for me, connectivity is cool for me, but what do the cats actually like? And there's a very clear winner. It's the Litter Robot 4. You see, the cats have completely abandoned the Leo's Loo 2 at this point, and they're sitting right next to each other. I'll take you over there right now and I'll show you. They have been sitting here next to each other for the entire time, and you can tell how clean the Leo's Loo 2 is because it literally hasn't been touched. The Litter Robot 4 is very clearly the one that the cats prefer. I don't know if it's the bigger opening, I don't know if it's the silent operation, I don't know if it's because it's easier to get in and out of with the step. I couldn't tell you. But what I do know is that that cat box gets used exclusively by my cats. Now look, one of my favorite comments that I got from anybody was saying, well, you're using the wrong litter. And that could have been the case, but I will tell you this, I used every litter imaginable except for the one that Whisker actually sells on their website. And this person in the comment said, well, if you can afford a $600 cat box, you can afford their expensive litter. I don't think you understand how economics work. Just because I spent the money doesn't mean I have more money. It's not how it works. But I tested expensive cat litters, I tested cheap cat litters, I tested dust-free and lightweight cat litters. I tested everything that I could find. And the biggest problem that I found was every time the drum would move, it would put off a ton of dust. And if it said lightweight cat litter, it means it's very dusty. Even the dust-free stuff had a ton of dust when you're rotating it in a drum like that. Do you want to know the best cat litter that I found for the Litter Robot 4, as well as the Leo's Loo 2? It's right here. Members Mark Scoopable Cat Litter. Yeah, you heard me right. Members Mark, the stuff that you buy from Sam's Club, in this 42-pound jug performs better in the Litter Robot 4 than any other cat litter I have found, hands down. And trust me, I spent an unbelievable amount of money testing cat litters. This one does the best. So where does that leave me now? Well, I'm actually going to box up the Leo's Loo 2 because it hasn't been used for a couple of months now. I'm gonna put it in storage for a bit, and I'm gonna let the Litter Robot 4 let it run its course. Of course, I'm gonna clean it, which you guys just watched me do, so hey, thanks for that. But it's working. It's working as advertised. Now, I will say that Jacob, the CEO, told me he's made hundreds of phone calls like this. And bear in mind, this conversation was back in January, so it's been several months since then. But at that time, he said that they were ramping up, getting their call centers up to snuff. With most people working remote, they were working on their customer support. They were scaling up their operations to handle the influx of interest they were getting. Mostly positive, what he said about the Litter Robot 4. But it takes a strong leader to be able to acknowledge and identify when their company makes a mistake or when something doesn't go as planned. Every big company has an uh-oh moment. I mean, ask Bud Light. But seriously, it takes a strong leader to make phone calls, to set up video calls to customers who are not happy with him, look them face to face in the eye and say, hey, we screwed up, let me make this right. And Jacob told me that he had hundreds of phone calls with regular people, not just YouTubers, if you want to call me that, but just everyday customers. So hats off to you, sir. Thank you for updating your product. I'm glad that I gave it the time that it needed to fully mature, sitting in my garage, in order for it to work. And you know what? I can safely say for myself that the Litter Robot 4 performs better than Leo's Loo 2. The only problem I had with the LR4 in the beginning was that it didn't work. The Leo's Loo 2 is louder, it's smaller, the bottom opening was kind of iffy. It had some things that I didn't love, but it worked. And that's why I couldn't recommend the Litter Robot 4. Now, look, you're gonna have to decide for yourself. Both of them are about the same price last I checked. The Litter Robot 4 is quieter, it does have a better app experience, and it seems like my cats prefer the bigger opening. It also works. So it's up to you which one you're gonna buy, but or if you're not gonna buy any of them at all. But that's where we're at with the cat box dilemma. I will also say this, folks. I've had several comments where people said, well, it was paid advertisement for the Leo's Loo 2, that's why it was better than the Litter Robot 4. Not at all. I don't get paid for doing anything with these products, at least not yet. If somebody wants to sponsor me, my phone lines are open. But I don't get paid for that stuff. And I've actually had companies walk away from me doing a review of their product because I tell them in my correspondence, I am going to be 100% honest. Just because you may provide a review unit for me to use and review does not mean I'm just going to give you a positive review. And I've had several companies walk away. Most recently, another cat box brand stopped answering my emails when I told them this. No reply. What are you gonna do? So, make your choices. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, drop them in the comments below. I will leave links to both of the products. Again, you really can't go wrong with either one of them. If you decide you want to make the jump, links are below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this informational. If you did, don't hesitate to give this video a thumbs up, maybe subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more dad jokes.